Well, welcome back to all the listeners of Radio Entrepreneurs. And we are back in the studios and we are streaming stories every day of entrepreneurship and how people are dealing with business and what they're doing in business. Uh, and our next guest, Damon Corkin, founder and travel director of Andean Discovery. Is that correct?
Correct. Andean Discovery.
And you are big into South America, right?
We love South America.
So why don't you tell us about the business?
Sure. Yeah. So we offer customized tours for families, couples, and educational organizations to several destinations in South America, primarily the Galapagos, Machu Picchu, Patagonia, and Colombia.
Not a bad assortment. Why did you pick those areas?
My roots sort of go back to Ecuador. Actually, when I was in high school, I went on an educational trip to the Amazon rainforest, to the Andes, central Andes of Ecuador, and the cloud forest area, and just completely fell in love with the country, fell in love with the people, the language. And so I came back, and that was just inspired me to go on and learn Spanish and continue studying Latin America. And so brought me back there years later.
Has COVID affected travel to South America, and how are you dealing with that?
Yes. So right now, fortunately, I can say that not only is there light at the end of the tunnel, we are seeing the light, we are feeling the light. It's needless to say, it's been a challenging time. March 2020, we were batting down the hatches and hunkering down, and like everybody, had no idea what was going on. But of course, the travel industry was significantly affected, and it's been a long road, and a lot of rebookings, a lot of people who are fortunately, a lot of our guests, willing to stay with us, but just book for the future. And then now, of course, that people are vaccinated, this spring has just been great, both for travel, people traveling, but people planning future travel.
So tell us about your evolution into starting this business.
Yeah, so I studied Spanish and business in school, and then I had the opportunity to live abroad a little bit in Spain, and hone in on my Spanish speaking skills. And from my love of travel, when I was a kid, fortunately I was able to travel a pretty good amount, particularly with my mother, who would take me on her work trips, and just got that travel bug from an early age. And so, excuse me. So when I graduated school, thinking, what am I going to do? Well, let's work and travel. Let's give that a shot. And I ended up working for an educational travel company in Boston, and worked with teachers to help set up trips around the U.S. It was mainly domestic, but my department also offered Puerto Rico. So that was sort of my first step into the international Spanish-speaking world of travel in the travel industry. And so they sent me down there a few times, and was able to, set up some people-to-people cross-cultural programs for the teachers up here and the teachers down there. And then I switched gears really, and was into sort of the adventure travel side of things. And I worked for an African tour operator, prominent African tour operator in the Boston area, and was the director of Kilimanjaro programs there for about 3 years. And that was just amazing experience, getting to learn more about the adventure side of travel, a little bit more about sort of the high-end, luxury side of adventure travel, and just really high level of customer service and customization of trips, taking people, so far from their homes, but making sure that it's just a comfortable and meaningful experience.
What makes you guys unique at what you do?
That's a great question. I think that because we are really in tune to not only our travelers' needs and our guests' needs, but we are also in tune on the ground in our destinations, because we're not a travel agent. We're not a travel agency. A lot of people think that a travel company is a travel agency. There's different types of travel companies, but we're actually a tour operator. And that means that not only, are we here in the US, I'm in our office just outside of Boston, but we have our local teams on the ground in South America. So I'm on the phone, I'm on Skype, I'm on Zoom, all day long with our guests, but also with our team, our operations team in country. We're coordinating guides, we're vetting guides. We have our guides that, that we know and love and that have been with us for years. And so it's really personalized, not only from the planning stages, but on the ground, when you're there, you're with one of our people, you're with our staff. And I think a lot of people know a guide can sort of make or break a trip. It's really important to have a good fit and to have somebody who's not only knowledgeable, but passionate about sharing, their country and their culture with our guests, and of course, keeping safety in mind. So I think, us being able to be in tune to every aspect of the trip, from start to finish, and just our constant drive to make sure that we're always improving our itineraries and our programs. And if there is a hiccup, that happens when travel. There's a delayed flight, there's a delayed bag, we're on it. Our team is really, all about making sure that it is a once in a lifetime experience. But if something does happen, we're on it and we're just able to make it smooth.
So you say we used to see travel agencies almost in every strip mall, 30, 40 years ago. You don't see them anymore. Who's the we're? Who's the team?
Yeah. So we have our staff of folks who help the trip planning process. So people who, do the initial conversations with guests, with potential guests who are trying to figure out what they want to do. It's pretty overwhelming. I mean, if you Google, Galapagos cruise or Galapagos trip, it's overwhelming. I haven't done that in a while, but I hear people and they come to us because they're like, please help us out. There's so many options. Do I want this cruise or that cruise or a big boat or a small boat? Or do I want a land-based trip? I'm seasick, but is this going to be okay? And so, our first step that's the team is really just, talking to guests about what they want to do, what we offer, and helping them navigate the best options for them, because there's so many different ways that you can visit the Galapagos. I think the first piece really is us just listening to people and seeing if we're a good fit for them, if the type of trip that we offer is something that they're interested in, and what first and foremost they want. And then, we have our team, on the ground who's making everything happen from, our boats in the Galapagos and coordinating from island to island, or, the romantic anniversary dinner for the 50th anniversary or whatever it may be. So that's, it's really a team effort. And, everybody is sort of on board that mission just to make sure that it's a smooth and unforgettable experience for our guests.
So, projecting ahead, there's a lot of technology changes that we're all going through. How's travel going to change, do you think, in the next couple of years?
I think that there's a lot of things that are going to change. And I think there's a huge technology piece there's a big sort of question mark in terms of sort of the do-it-yourself on your own, or apps. I think that nothing at the end of the day is going to replace experience and people and knowledge of a destination, and people that are making sure that everything go correctly from start to finish. When you mention technology, it makes me think of booking.com or hotels.com, and I mean, you name it, there's all sorts of shoot-offs of these going in every direction. But when you plan a trip abroad, especially to a developing country with so many logistical elements, you can't just press a button and have all of those things come to fruition and make an experience like that happen. So I think technology in that context is really a different avenue. I think that, people who are do-it-yourselfers and people who want to book travel, there will be technological avenues to make that easy, but that experience will be different than something that is an experience where you can sit back, relax, and spend your time enjoying the destination and with your loved ones, and not having to worry about the organization of the experience. Now, technology for us internally is amazing. How much it's facilitated just cloud-based information and real-time information about travelers and itineraries, just being communicated to cell phones and to WhatsApp. Technology has just completely helped us in every sense to stay in touch with our team and be fully connected, even for our guests to be connected to us 24 hours a day when they're traveling, if need be.
Well, it's all pretty exciting, and I'm on board for my trip to the Galapagos. I've been there already, and it was quite wonderful. I enjoyed it. And if somebody else is looking to go to South America and these wonderful destinations as the world opens up again, how do they find you?
Yeah, they can go to our website, andeandiscovery.com, ANDEAN discovery.com, or they can give us a call, 1-800-893-0916. We're on Eastern time, 9 to 5, and can obviously shoot us an email, travel at andeandiscovery.com. And we'd love to chat with people and give some friendly travel advice. If nothing else, we love talking about South America, and so give us a call.
Great. Thanks for being on the show today, and we appreciate it. I hope you come back again, and safe travels. And remind everybody, this is Radio Entrepreneurs.